Sanders' immigration plan, halt deportations, abolish ICE, welcome 50,000 climate migrants, give welfare to all. That's how Fox News pegs it. That's how they pegged it. If you want the worst depiction of what you mean, I'll just go to Fox News and get it. Or I could have went to MSNBC and got the worst depiction. I mean, we are talking about Bernie Sanders, right? Here goes an article from the New York Times. Bernie Sanders says migrants who have spent 5 years in the U.S. should get to stay. Senator Bernie Sanders on Thursday called for ending virtually all of the Trump administration's immigration policies and creating a swift, fair pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, including by allowing people who have been in the U.S. legally for 5 years to stay without the risk of deportation. Sanders' immigration proposals are among the most progressive offered by the 2020 Democratic presidential candidate to date, and should they be enacted, would substantially reshape the federal policy.
And when we talk about a humane border policy, that means a fair and fully funded immigration adjudication system. That means looking to reform the way we treat border crossing from a criminal offense to a civil one. That means ending wage theft and discrimination and harassment and abuse and mass immigration raids. That means not using ICE as a deportation force that too often terrorizes our communities, but instead focusing ICE on making sure Mexico is enforcing its labor laws so that immigration policy isn't being used as a tool by big corporations to lower wages on both sides of the border. We can never again separate children from their parents and keep them in cages. Too often, we are seeing reports in the media of young children dying in custody. Children like Felipe Gomez Alonso, Carlos Gregorio Hernandez Vasquez, and Jacqueline Carl Macwin. Those are names we must never forget. And too often, we are seeing situations where children in custody may never be reunited with their parents because of Trump's cruel and incompetently managed family separation policy. In the coming weeks, my campaign will be issuing a detailed immigration reform proposal based on the principle of creating a humane policy that keeps families together and that aligns with our values and our history as a nation. We can maintain safe and secure borders, which we must, without hatred, without racism, and without demonizing people.
I was on his website, and I was looking at this plan, and he got some key components of the plan. I'll just run down to you a couple of them so you know what's in the plan until you go to the website and check it out for yourself. If Bernie Sanders becomes president, as president, Bernie will use executive authority to reverse Trump's harmful actions on immigration, including ensuring asylum seekers can make their claims in the U.S., ending family detention and separation, reuniting families, reversing the Muslim ban, halting constructions of Trump's racist border wall.
So immigration, I think there's a general sense that the candidates, the Democrats, are basically trying to outdo each other for open borders, something like that. A, do you think that's a fair way to start the question? And B, where do you sit on that? So immigration, I think there's a general sense that the candidates, the Democrats are basically trying to outdo each other for open borders, something like that. A, do you think that's a fair way to start the question? And B, where do you sit on that?
I don't support open borders. Without secure borders, we don't really have a country. And while some of the other Democratic candidates will say, well, open borders, that's a conservative argument, and that's not really what's being advocated for. If you look at the practical implications of some of the things they're pushing for, it is essentially open borders.
So, though I disagree with Tulsi Gabbard that if you want to end the deportations or separation of families, don't make it a criminal offense, make it a civil offense, or these options that people are choosing, I don't think that's the same thing as saying, come on, everybody, come on in here. Like, I think we do. I think everybody agrees we should be checking people at the border. We don't want everybody, right? We want to make sure people are cool, right? Pat them down or something. Then go stand in that line and then check them out. I mean, we got to have some procedures. I wouldn't support anybody who's just like, just open the gates. Open the doors and let the gates open and let everybody just. Bernie goes on to say, place a moratorium on deportations and end the ICE raids. Restore and expand DACA and use advanced parole in place, and hardship waivers to remove barriers to legal status and citizenship for as many undocumented immigrants as possible. I don't even know what that means. It's possible. That's a lot of people. It's possible. Push Congress to enact a fair, swift, and inclusive path to citizenship for the 11 million undocumented people living in the U.S. So we already got people living here, right? They're already living here. Why not try to make them citizens? They're already here, dog. They're already working, right? They're already doing whatever they're doing. They're building lives. They got kids in schools. Just imagine you're a part of one of these families, man. That's all you got to do. Put yourself in another's shoes. You're a part of one of these families and mama just got picked up. They sending mama back to Guatemala or something. Back to a country we help discombobulate. Remember, we've been having our fingers in Latin America for a long time. We're part of the reason why there's upheaval in Latin America. Not you and me. I didn't do nothing. I'm from D.C. I never left the country. Talk about our government. Bernie goes on to make, some more announcements about he wants decriminalize and demilitarize the border. And I think that even Tulsi wants to demilitarize the border. She don't think people should be shot at the border. This ain't Russia. This ain't North Korea, I should say. This ain't North Korea, right? Maybe I was right the first time. I definitely don't believe in criminalizing under Obama or under Trump in any way people who are seeking asylum. Because that's what's happening. So if you're seeking asylum, shouldn't we be verifying your asylum request or processing it before we just lock you up? I mean, I don't know about you, but if I was running from a bad situation, maybe I don't got time to fill out all the paperwork. That's the whole purpose of running from a bad situation, where you want to run from the bad situation. So we're talking about comprehensive immigration reform. I don't like the idea that Pete Buttigieg's and the John Delaney's and the Amy Klobuchar's and the Joe Bidens, well, that's too much to go for. We don't want to do too much. We can't do too much. That's why Hillary lost. You do understand this, right? We need to try to do too much. When you aim to do too much, you end up getting more accomplished because you try to do more. And then when you settle, if you settle at all, you're settling with more than you would have had if you would have aimed lower. You know the old adage, aim for the moon, and wherever you are, you'll fall with the stars. Eat a Mars bar or something like that, right? So, I like that attitude better. I think that's a better strategy in order to actually get things done, but I also feel like it inspires people and will help bring out voters. Did you enjoy that content? I know you did. You got great taste, Johnson. What can I say? Become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack today right here on YouTube, or go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, and you'll get free stuff, special stuff, secret stuff. Do it today. Wolf Pack.